What's up, guys? I'm Chris Eaton, and welcome to episode 91 of Snakes and the Fatman. So I was talking to John last year, and I said, listen, savvy breeders, I hate that word, savvy, but I used it at the time. Savvy breeders are constantly posting updates about their breeding projects on social media. Why can't they share this stuff on Morph Market, the biggest reptile platform in the world? And John said, yes, they can. They could actually share their clutches and litters for all species in offspring groups. And I said, but let's say you want to find someone working on a certain project. How could you do that? I was met by only silence. And the Morph Market team started working on that because John fucking listens to me. With Morph Market projects, users will be able to browse, search, and get alerts on all of your breeding activity. Do you want to generate more excitement around the genetics that you're working with? Do you want to grow your brand and following? Do you want your animals to sell even faster? If so, then you're going to love Morph Market projects. Look for it any day now. By the way, here's something that just hatched. I guess we're doing that now, where we're using those. Oh, okay. All right, cool. Did you know that trusted sellers on Morph Market can now advertise babies right out of the egg? That seems like a good idea. Just label your listing with the maturity pre-established. This allows you to connect with buyers while establishing the animal. Read more about it on the Morph Market blog at morphmarket.com. All right, let's break out the iPad here and let's see what the fucking Herps family is up to. They're in Oklahoma City this weekend, January 14th and 15th. Oklahoma, baby. Shit. They'll be in Longview, Texas on January 21st and 22nd. They'll be at the Big Show in Conroe on January 28th and 29th. They're going to stay in Texas, and they're going to be in Corpus Christi on February 25th and 26th. Then they're going back out of state all the way up to Louisiana. March 4th and 5th, they're going to be in New Orleans. Then they're going to be in Bryan, College Station, back in Texas on March 11th and 12th. Oh man, I constantly want to make a Branch Davidian joke whenever they're in Waco, Texas, but I just feel like it's getting old and it's not funny anymore. Oh, I want to say one. All right, they're going to be in Waco, Texas on March 25th and 26th. Then they're going back to Louisiana, and they're going to be in Slidell on April 1st and 2nd. Listen, stop fucking around. You know you want to go to a herp show. Just fucking go to herpshow.net and look at all these dates, and if you have a question, ask Sean and Lori. There's a little contact form right there. herpshow.net. Holy shit. An actual drama-free episode with awesome guests? Where am I, you might ask? You're at Snakes and the fucking Fatman. So we actually have a cool episode today. I actually got to fly down to Georgia and interview Justin. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Chris, that's fucking dog shit. Justin has been on every fucking podcast worth of shit, right? Hell, he's been on this fucking show 4 or 5 fucking times already. But never before in the history of podcasts. That's right. This is the only place where you'll hear from the heartbeat of the Kobylka family and the real one that keeps everything moving over there. The always beautiful, always classy Joy Kobylka. Now, I know for all you fanboys out there, Justin is still part of the interview. Don't worry. But we kind of just regulated him to the background. Boom. That's right. The fat man got it like that. That's how we roll over here. But seriously, I want to thank Joy and Justin for trusting the old fat man on her first public appearance on a podcast. And a dumb dick and fart joke podcast at that. So there was another first for people in this hobby that have visited Justin's place down in Georgia. I didn't look at one snake the whole time I was there. Well, that's not true. I mean, I had to look at the Bolins in the lobby, and I actually got to hold my first file snake. Never did that before. They're pretty cool. I think I'm going to get into that. But I didn't look at one ball python the entire time I was there. Didn't open one fucking tub. Whole time. Shout out to my travel buddy and assistant cameraman for this trip, Shamir Bernard from Royal Black Balls. He looked at a couple of ball pythons. But I was very proud to say that I went to the reigning king of ball pythons in America, probably the fucking world, and didn't look at one fucking ball python. Boom. Fat man style. Listen, if you're a repta bitch, I don't even want you watching this show. At the end of the day, if you buy your cocoa substrate from some cut rate, save $4 a brick fuck, you're going to wake up one morning, you're going to go get your coffee, you're going to walk into your snake room, you're going to open the tub, and bang, dead snake. Could other products that are not ReptiChip kill your animal? According to Ancient Astronaut Theorist, the answer could be yes. Also, just don't be a reptid dick. Support the community a little bit, especially you non-contributing pieces of shit that think you're killing it with your Orange Dream Lessers. Buy a Reptilution shirt and do something real to help the community. 100% of the sales of the Reptilution shirts go to people in need in the reptile community when a real, unavoidable problem hits them. Go fucking buy a brick, a bag, a shirt at reptichip.com. Listen, I don't care what you buy, just get on it. All right, I still haven't memorized the Redline shipping ad yet, so I'm going to read it right off the old iPad here. Also, something that, you might have noticed, but, you might not have, is Snakes and the Fat Man gives actual time to their sponsors and just doesn't fucking rattle them off at the beginning of the show. Seems like Snakes and the Fat Man is the better value for sponsors, doesn't it? Boom, attack on everybody else. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of booms this week. I don't know why. Redline Shipping is the #1 service for all your live reptile, aquatics, and invertebrate shipping needs. Email Robin with a Y at redlineshipping.com to get your custom discount to save you money over any of the competitors. See, they do it too, all right? Since we're in winter, live shipping is less frequent due to the cold temperatures. But you can ship your merchandise and dry goods year-round with Redline shipping. Merchandise can be shipped with overnight, 2-day, 3-day, and ground services, just like UPS, but cheaper than UPS. RedlineShipping.com has the best website and interface in the industry, including features and functions that no other service offers. See, that's what you get when you use Robin, all right? The site is fast, smooth, and easy to use. Use code FATMAN5, boom, right down here. Said boom again, don't care, fucking right here for an extra $5 off your already discounted rates. Redline Shipping is the place to be. Like Frank Costanza said, join Team Redline and be better off red. So not only did Shamir and I head down to Georgia and visit Justin last month, we decided to take the psychotic, hell on earth, deliverance, banjo playing, thought we were gonna get raped 4-hour drive to Knoxville, Tennessee. We had a chance to hang out with some cool people like Shane Kelly, Leviathan Snakes, Bree Barham, and a bunch of other people, and we decided to take it. And after spending 5 days in Knoxville, I gotta say, a lot of meth heads in Knoxville. Like literal zombie-style meth heads. I think Shamir and I counted 9 meth heads between the gas station when we got off the highway and the hotel. That was about 2 blocks. 9 meth heads in 2 blocks. That's 4.5 meth heads per block. Extrapolate that to the area that we were staying in, which was about 22 square blocks, and that's 99 meth heads. Fuck it, we'll call it 100. I mean, like a metric ton of meth heads. It's almost too many. It's almost too many meth heads. And when I say meth heads, I don't mean sitting on the side of the gas station fucking asking for money meth heads. I'm talking about walking the streets, fucking Walking Dead style meth heads. And funny thing is, the hotel was really nice, but I half expected fucking to look out the window and see Rick Grimes taking these motherfuckers out. Turns out, because we didn't know the area and we booked the hotel online, we literally picked the worst part of Knoxville to stay in. It also turns out that the rest of Knoxville, outside the meth head area, is fucking awesome and incredible, and I fucking fell in love with it. Tennessee is literally the first place that I've stayed down south that is giving Texas a run for its money for places that I might move to. Plus, the Knoxville airport is fucking heaven for a fat dude. 1 building, 4 terminals. That's it. I would move there just for the fucking airport. All right, I gotta read the Clutch ad again because Summer just sent this over to me last night and I did not memorize it. I may give the sponsors the time, but I have to read it. And I know I suck at reading. Say goodbye to spreadsheets. Say hello to Clutch. This brand new cloud-based software makes managing your ball python collection simple. With Clutch, you can easily create, search, and filter your collection, visualize your projects with analytics and insights, keep track of past, present, and future clutches, and connect every customer with the perfect animal using a fantastic waitlist system. They've been running a limited beta since November, and I know a lot of you guys have been patiently waiting to test it out. Well, you're not going to have to wait much longer. They're prepping for the official launch in just a few weeks. I know, it's fucking software. It takes a little bit to fucking get it out. Be patient. Okay? Head on over to Clutch, CLTCH.io to learn more and get ready to discover the power of your collection.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Snakes in the Fatman proudly brings to you its new breeder segment, 15 Minutes of Lame!
Hey guys, it's Justin at Kinova. So in the past few years, Kinova has become the top source for amazing ball pythons. Now Chris tells me, Justin, it's time to give back. So we're sponsoring the 15 Minutes of Lame to support the new and upcoming breeders. So jump in here. Let's hear your ideas. Let's hear your thoughts. Maybe you can turn your 15 minutes of lame into 20 years of lame, just like I did. If you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. So bring it.
15 minutes of lame!
What's up, everybody? Look who I have here. I have Mrs. Holly Russell from Texoma Exotics. And before we even start, Holly has not had one clutch yet. Okay? The reason that Holly is here is because I ran across Holly in a live chat and they were talking about something controversial. And Holly was the most adult person in the chat. And she was so adult that it impressed the fuck out of me. So I contacted her and asked her to be on 15 Minutes of Lame. So Holly, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, Chris?
I'm good. You haven't had any clutches yet?
No, I've had 10 pairings this year, but no clutches.
Okay. All right. And you're from Oklahoma.
I'm from Texas, but I live in Oklahoma now.
But you live in Oklahoma, hence the name, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the name is actually pretty good. All right, so you know how this works, all right? We're going to put 15 minutes on the clock, and we're going to start that now, and we're going to pimp your wares a little bit. I'm going to start off with the question that I know you're nervous about.
Great.
And that is why when you potentially get these clutches, why should people in Texas or even, all over the place buy from you?
I think because I strive to do very honest, very good work. I want to stand behind my product. It's not just a hobby to me. It's like my passion.
Oh, so, I hate that word.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but it is. I love my rats and I love my snakes too. So
you have a rat business as well right now, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And how long have you been doing both?
A little over a year.
Okay. So now with the rats, is the only reason that you started doing them to make sure that your snakes were always fed?
Yes.
Okay. And did it just grow quickly enough to where you just had extra rats every week?
Sort of. I've had to, hold back just like you do with a snake. And I've had customers, order up to $200 worth every other week. And I can't fulfill that order. So I had to grow.
Okay. So the rats have grown more than the snakes in the last year.
Absolutely. And here where I live, there's nothing local, even at pet stores, that can provide enough for people to feed their snakes. So.
And do you breed rats, mice, and ASFs or just rats?
I only do rats and ASFs for now.
Okay. And what do you think you put into the rat business over the last year?
Oh, geez. About 12,000.
Okay. And what did you put into the snake business in the last year?
Almost 17,000.
Okay, so you're at about 30 grand in a year that you put into the rats and snakes. Okay.
Yes.
And as of yesterday, you've made only rat money back. Is that correct?
That is it.
Okay. And how much rat money did you make back?
Not even enough to be anywhere. I've probably averaged maybe 1,000.
1,000 a month or 1,000 total?
No, altogether, because our prices here are a lot different than yours there.
Right.
And so, it's a little harder to sell here, but to reach my customers and put myself out on the internet and stuff, I've just done. And I'm receiving more calls every week, but a lot of them are people wanting pet rats. So.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you just tell them people to fuck off?
No, I actually work with the rats. I have a little holding for pets, and I work with them as soon as they're weaned, basically, and hold them and, work with them to where they're comfortable with the kids that come in. So,
Man, okay, you've just become 18% less hot now that
I
I
don't
know
care.
you deal with
I love
rats.
my
at home.
rats. I
Okay.
have a 5-footed rat that's in my house.
I saw the
And
picture of that thing.
I love her so much. She's so sweet. And I don't know. I just love rats.
That shit is an abomination. Okay. You should take that rat out to the highway. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, no.
How many snakes do you have?
36.
Okay. And you've done 10 pairings this year, which means that you bought some adults first, right?
No, I raised all of mine from little babies.
Yeah, but how can you do 10 pairings though in a year when the females
I,
don't even reach maturity till 2 or 3?
I started in 2021.
Okay, all right. So you've been doing it a little more than a year with the snakes. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And what are the big projects that you're looking forward to?
I have Puzzle, Ultramel. We have Sunset. We have, there's so many clowns. I have a lot of stuff, but I'm actually very blessed that I've won a pair of het puzzles off of the Samson show.
Right.
And from JQ, and love that guy. He's awesome. I've bought from him before, and I highly do recommend him. But I've also had people just come up and be like, okay, I had a lady come up to my door the other day and like, here, I'm done, and I'm like, I don't need your snake. But, on the other hand, you can't turn them away. But I do have a lot of clown in my collection.
Okay. Well, and just so you know, you can turn them away. You could say, fuck you. I don't need your normal.
Well, I'm a Texan. You're from New York. I mean, there's a big difference.
Yeah, a little bit. Jesus Christ. Are you a quarantine girl?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. 90 days the least.
Okay. Are you a NIDO testing girl?
I will be. I haven't reached that point yet to where I feel like I need to do it. I'm not even had any babies yet. So once I start hatching, I definitely will, because I want all of my animals to definitely be tested at top notch,
Okay. Now, do you how many hours a week would you say that you're spending in the snake room?
Just in the snake room, I would say about 12.
Okay. That's actually not bad. How many hours a week do you spend in the rat room?
Well, about 6, 7.
Oh, so 20 hours a week you're getting away with.
Right.
Oh, okay. That's not actually bad. And you have a job, right? You're not one of these people that are like, oh, I'm going to be a full-time snake breeder right away and quit my job, right?
Right. Yeah, I do have a job.
Okay. And you did just finish an actual logo, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And are you going to be a sticker breeder, or are you going to hold off on getting any type of stickers till you could actually be called a breeder?
I have not done stickers yet. I was going to wait probably another 6 months to see how many clutches, if I do have any this year. Definitely not a sticker breeder.
Definitely not.
No.
What do you think of the whole I'll swap you stickers bullshit going on?
I've had Jason from the Canadian Reptile Adventure, I believe it's called. He sent me stickers, and I was like, okay, once I get mine in, I will send it to you. But he was nice enough to do that. I don't, if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do.
That's that guy that Brian kicked to the curb, right? Friday nights. Yeah. Okay. All right. No, he's actually a nice guy.
He is. I love him.
All right. Well, now let's stop this bullshit and get to the info that people really want to hear and talk about sponsors.
Okay.
Have you ever been to a herp show?
Yes.
That's awesome. Sean Gray does not give you a fuck you. Okay. Do you use Morph Market?
Yes.
Look at that. John Lehman does not give you a fuck you. You're doing good with the Texas people right now. Okay.
All right.
Have you ever used Reptichip?
That's all I use.
That's all you use.
Yes.
JT does not give you a fuck you.
Good deal.
Okay. Now we're going to get a little harder here. Okay.
Okay.
I saw your logo. You did not use Blake Stewart of Stewart Design.
No, I did not.
No, it's all right. But Blake Stewart is currently standing there giving you the fucking middle finger, giving you an FU. Now, have you ever used or do you? No, well, you haven't really shipped anything yet. But do you plan on using Redline shipping?
Yes, I do.
You better use that fucking $5 off coupon on
Absolutely.
that. Beautiful. Okay. Robin Marklin does not give you a fuck you.
Good job.
Now we're gonna do a double fuck you or a double good. Do you use clutch? And have you ever bought a snake from Kinova?
I have signed up to use clutch. I have not gotten approved for it yet.
Okay.
I support my man Justin here. I bought plenty of merch, but I have been gifted a snake from Samson's Snakeatorium from Justin. But no, I have not bought one.
That's okay. As long as you have a Justin snake in your collection, that's great. And Justin is putting his fat little fingers back in his pocket and not giving you a fuck you. So that's incredible. Have you ever used sea serpents, incubators, or racks?
I have 3 sea serpent racks.
3. Look at that. Fucking Chris Nettles does not give you a fuck you. Yeah, this is going really fucking good. I have to say that. Do you have a focus cubed habitat cage in your house?
Not yet. I don't have a use for one yet.
Nah. Stephen and Ashley are just giving you a fuck you. They're like, you use everybody else in Texas, but you haven't bought from them yet.
I have no need to. Yep.
They're looking at you with disgust right now. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
That's okay.
I believe that's it. No. I believe you're gonna get another fuck you right now. Have you ever bought a leopard gecko from Frank at Geeky Gecko Creations?
No.
Yeah.
Not that I know of.
No, right? Just no. Frank.
Just no. Yeah.
Frank's giving you the big old Italian fuck you right now.
Sorry, Frank.
Now, do you have other species there besides ball pythons?
No, I don't.
It's strictly ball pythons.
Strictly ball pythons for now.
Oh, that's just the worst. Okay. And do you have a metal rack in the house?
ARS.
Okay, ARS. That's good.
Yep.
All right, you're doing all right. I mean, ARS isn't a sponsor or anything, but I definitely like ARS caging there. And now, what's the plan? All right, like what's the 5-year plan after you start producing something?
Right. I just want to build my company. I want to build my breeders up. I want to get to the triple recessive point and just work on not so much the quantity, but the quality.
Is the goal to quit the day job?
No, not really.
No, you're just going to constantly keep this as a side thing.
Maybe. I mean, if it gets to that point, I'm open to that.
Right.
But as of now,
right. But you have a real job, so you don't need to depend on snake money.
No,
like
not at all. I haven't made any snake money. I mean, we're about 26,000 in the hole. So.
And are you worried at all about this upcoming? I don't want to call it a recession because I think for a lot of people it's going to be an opportunity. But are you worried about selling your snakes over the next 2 years?
I'm really not. There's a lot of local places here where I live. You have Oklahoma. I now live so close to Texas. And I've actually reached out to Bob Vu here a couple weeks ago about helping him set up his place there in Arlington. I've never done a setup before.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, yeah, come on in. You can help us set up. I'm going to learn how to do a setup, and I need to buy the equipment for myself. But I mean, that to me, that's a good step in the right direction, learning it for somebody that's professional.
Right. Is he going to let you set up, or is he going to let you just help him set up his shit?
I'm just basically going there to help him, to watch him and learn from him.
Okay. And Arlington is further away than like an Oklahoma herp show, right?
It would be about the same.
No shit, really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And if people like this little charming Southern, well, shit, goddamn, hell, fuck, lady, how would they get in touch with you?
I'm at Texoma Exotics on the Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. It's about all I have right now.
TikTok?
Yes.
Don't you feel just a little gay doing TikTok?
Not at all. Most of my stuff on there is actually funny.
I'm going to have to check that out. We'll see about that.
Yeah. Okay, I'll ring doorbell. It's really not related to the snakes. I have some snake on there, but yeah, you got to check it out.
And it's called Ring Door. Oh, it doesn't matter, okay? Because you have to shut down by the timer. So I will give you another 2 minutes because you're hot and you have an accent, and I got a little bit of a boner right now. I'm not going to lie. So
all right.
It's called Ring Doorbell?
No, my Ring Doorbell content is on my page.
Okay, so your TikTok is the name.
Exotics.
Oh, Texoma Exotics. Okay, all right, but not Ring Doorbell.
No, the funny stuff is on the Ring Doorbell videos.
Gotcha. Okay, I can't even follow you. That's how old I am and not relating to TikTok at all. Okay,
That's okay, of course.
But Holly, thank you so much for taking some time and hanging out with us. And it's Texoma Exotics everywhere, people. So go follow this fucking little badass hottie that is literally so much more of an adult than any of these people that I've ever seen in chats. And she basically laid down the law and calmed down that fucking chat really quick. So I'm a fan. So everybody go follow Holly at Texoma Exotics. Thanks again, Holly.
Thank you, Chris.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Snakes in the Batman proudly brings to you its new breeder segment, 15 Minutes of Life!
Listen, guys, Stewart Design doesn't just create logos, they build brands. What do I mean by this? Well, your brand has both a verbal and visual side. Think of this as your brand message and brand image. Your brand message is what initially draws clients to you and continually generates new business. After that, the quality of your product and service keeps them coming back and retains them. Without effective messaging, you're only going to be connecting with a small percentage of the clients you could be connecting with. Your brand message helps you clearly define who you are, how are you different from your competitors, what value you offer to your clients, and why potential clients should choose you over others. For this reason, Stewart Design always starts branding projects by developing your brand's message first. Creating a logo without understanding why and how it needs to look is only going to hold your company back and should be considered fucking malpractice. Stewart Design starts by clarifying your goals, audience, and industry. Then they form your messaging. After that, they strategically determine what colors, styles, and fonts make the most sense to use. And then finally, how the logo needs to look and function. You see, the visual identity of a company should be a natural result of proper strategy. Because the question really shouldn't be, do I like this? It should be, will this work? Stewart Design figures out what will actually work and provides you with a true investment to grow your business. When done right, it should attract the right people and it should reflect your business properly. It should make your company more memorable and it should build trust and credibility with your clients. On the other hand, if it's done poorly, it could do the exact opposite. It could make you look amateur and can actually deter your business. Don't settle for a fucking idiot that simply offers you a cheap logo. Build your brand the right way. Bring out your best so you could get it right from the start and finally move out of your mother's fucking basement, crush it at Tinley, Pomona, or Arlington, and build a life for yourself doing what you love. Contact Stewart Design today. You could reach them at sdidentity.com. Again, that's sdidentity.com. How cool is this? For the first time on any podcast ever, Joy Kobylka. I want to thank Justin and Joy again for trusting the old Fatman to do her first public appearance here. This is the first time I've met Joy, and I gotta be honest, I was nervous as fuck that I would curse or fucking tell her some inappropriate sex joke and she would just get up and fucking leave. So when we got to the facility, I asked Summer if Joy was there yet. And when she said no, I immediately just blurted out like, fuck, shit, cock, fucking cunt, motherfucker, fuck, and got it all out of my system. And I learned something about myself that day. The Fatman could actually go 90 minutes without cursing. Thankfully, it all worked out, and I didn't say anything inappropriate to Joy the entire time I was there, because that was my goal. So we sat down, turned the cameras on, started recording, and we just talked about stuff. Not necessarily snake stuff, but what it's like to be the support system for the whole Kobylka family. And I didn't say one inappropriate thing. Here's my three-way with Justin and Joy. God, fuck. All right, everybody, look who I have here. I have the king and the queen here. The queen for the first time doing something like this, right? How are you, Joy?
I'm good.
Good, okay.
I'm nervous.
No, don't be nervous. Remember, you're on a podcast with an idiot. So you can't come off bad. I think that everybody has heard enough from him, right? Like, people want to hear from you, because the questions I get asked about you are constant. Okay. And I never met you in my life.
So what have you been telling people?
I've been saying she's awesome. She's awesome, and we all think that she could do better than Justin. So that's what we decided. But how did you guys meet? And I don't need you to mansplain it to her.
He was there. We met in high school. Like, I was 13. He was 15? I think he was 15.
So he's 2 years older than
a year and a half.
Okay.
He turned 15 in 4 months.
And you guys dated throughout high school, but apparently, from what I learned during lunch, you guys broke up a few times in between.
Yes.
See, it was very much a Ross-Rachel break kind of thing.
Break.
Right?
Yeah. Less toxic.
Okay, all right. Well, I don't know from the story. Why don't you tell me the story of how you broke up with Justin the first time?
You see this look on his face?
That wasn't the first time.
Oh, that wasn't the first time. Okay.
Well, the one you're referring to, we had just graduated from high school, and he was in Africa for a year, and I was 17, and he was 18, and we were kind of serious already, and I just wanted some emotional space to make my own choices. So I emailed him.
In Africa.
In Africa.
Yeah.
Broke up.
And you broke up with him via email.
I did.
That he, because he was in Africa, didn't get for 2 weeks.
I didn't know that until today.
Yeah.
Okay. And what was the response from Justin?
I don't remember exactly what he said. It was probably very kind, because that's who he is. But
It's probably diplomatic.
it was probably the most diplomatic response.
All right. And then after he came back from Africa, how did this start all up again?
Well, he came back from Africa, and then I went overseas for a year. So
Okay, so
that
there
was
was
2 years.
another year
And then
gap.
our best friends married each other, and we were both in their wedding. And we had been emailing because we didn't really have cell phones back then.
Right. Or
So
you
we
were-
had,
You were
We've been-
AOL instant messaging each
Yeah.
other. And,
we've been emailing each other and talking, but we met up again at their wedding.
And have you broken up again since then?
No.
Or was that the last time?
That was
That was the
last.
last
Okay, that was actually the last time. Okay.
Yeah, we got married 2 years later.
Okay. All right. So you've been married since you were, what, 22?
You were 22. Yeah.
Oh.
I was 21. Mhm.
And how long has it been now?
Almost 19 years, 18 and a half.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. And nobody knows anything about Joy. Okay.
No, it's sad.
Okay.
So was that by design? Did you want to just be left out of this whole crazy world?
So when he started, I did shows with him
Mm.
for a long time. Like, I don't know, maybe not a long time. It felt like a long time. Because I'm introverted, and a show is very stressful.
Right.
But, but I used to be able to do the genetic stuff, but that's back when there was like 5 genes, pastel with
Right,
brown,
right.
a piebald, yellow belly, albino. That was about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And you've been with him this whole time.
Yes.
So were you doing snakes prior to?
Well, I was catching him and keeping him like in my dorm room. I was I was into him. I'll be that video that's on my channel from when I was 14.
Right.
years
Right.
old.
Yeah.
That was when she met me. It was around that time. So I was always been into reptiles in general, but it was after we got married that I actually tried to breed something with the idea of doing it as a career potentially.
Well, we were in married student housing, and we were not supposed to have any animals, and we had 15 snakes and a cat.
Okay.
We lost a 6-foot snake into the walls of that building, which we never found. So it was
Oh,
one of those
okay. All right.
situations. Yeah.
So it was just basically, this was your first apartment together?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did Justin ever have a real job since you met him?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, now it seems like a real job, but no, he managed a medical practice, and he also worked for what was it?
Forms design company called
Yes.
Standard Register, which
Yes.
made forms for hospitals. So I
Oh,
designed
okay.
like patient intake forms.
Right, and like
That sort of
Quark
thing.
Express and shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Boy, I haven't heard that word in our Quark.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah. That's dating me and you,
Yeah.
you know.
That was a different time.
And what was your reaction to Joy when he said, "I want to do this full time"? Like,
So he didn't say that. I said it's time for you to do this full time because he was working 2 full-time jobs.
okay.
So he was working. He worked for a medical practice. He managed a medical practice. He did all their marketing, and then he would come home and he would work 8 hours a night. You're cleaning all those
On the
cages,
snakes,
all the
right,
snakes,
right,
and
okay.
so basically and then you have shipping, and then every weekend he was working, and so I was working for mental health, and we were pregnant with Aaliyah, which is our second child, and I said I have 6 months of insurance, and now's the time for you to try.
Like, if we're going to try, why not do it now?
Right now I'm
Yeah.
covered through having this child, and then
Right.
I was coming home to be with the kids, and so he had 6 months, and I did. And I've also been the one, I don't anymore, but I was always the one who's being like, hey, it's time to hire somebody. It's time to do. That was always me.
Right.
Yeah.
So I had just made a large sale to Europe for snakes, and it was enough money that was probably like a 4-month runway
Okay.
for the business.
Mhm.
That was, we had about 4 months to make it. And so I quit my job, shipped the snakes, and that was the one time that we had a major disaster in shipping, and like half the
Really? Ended up
shipment
dead?
didn't make it.
Oh, really?
I had to
He was sick. Just
right. And so
sick.
all of a sudden that runway disappeared, most of it, and we had to replace all the animals and all that. I stuck with it,
Right.
But it was through her encouragement, because I think I was just saying, like, I don't know, I feel like I'm not doing everything the way I want to do it. It's not servicing the customers well, not answering people, not shipping well, et cetera, et cetera.
Because he's working full time.
Because I was
It's hard to
working-
answer the phone
Right,
when
it's
you're
hard to
working
do
for
both,
somebody else.
yeah.
Right. I mean, I had commitments, but she's the one who said, well, you know what, you just get the time.
So since your second kid, you've been doing this
So
full-time.
she just turned 12, and so then about 11 and a half years now, 12 and a half years, 12 and a half years.
And did you ever think it would get this gigantic?
I mean, I don't think I thought it'd get this gigantic. I knew he'd do a good job at it. Like, I knew he'd be successful, but I didn't ever think it would be, like, I mean, it's snake.
Well, that's
hard
what
to, like, picture.
That's what people say, though. People say about Justin. Justin could have opened up a company that made computer monitors, and it would have been successful.
Yes.
So
Maybe.
I mean, that's what a lot of you non-haters tell me. They're like, it just doesn't matter. Justin puts his mind to something.
Well, you'd have to love it.
Yeah.
Like, he would have had to really love computer monitors.
Right.
It would, otherwise he'd be like, this is really boring. Because he, occasionally, like, he'll be working on snake stuff, and he's been doing the same thing for a really long time. He's like, he starts getting bored, and I know what it is, because he starts learning how to, edit videos. And he does that, it gets decent at, hires someone else to do that. And then he starts playing with something else. So he just plays with it different ways whenever he gets bored.
Yeah, right now clutch is the big
Right, the big deal right
thing,
now.
right? But at some point that's going to get to where it's, not quite the same challenge it is now.
Right.
It's going to be something else.
Right.
It's okay.
It's going to be the new Porsche in the garage kind of thing.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I want it to be a bit more business related than that, hopefully.
Well, and does Joy do anything with the business now or no?
I keep our children alive. Does that count?
Okay, yeah, I'm sure it does. Yeah.
She gives me the mental space to do the business,
Okay.
which is huge because I think for a lot of people, just the issues of life and family can make it really hard to run a business well.
Right.
And just the knowledge that everything's got a button on it. Joy's got this, in control, and I can worry about other things than that. It makes all the difference.
I'm a sounding board a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
She listens to me talk a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Talk
from
stuff.
how has his talk of ball python hobbyists changed over the years? Because I know it was 10 or 12 years ago. I mean, it was the Wild West of.
It was.
I mean, people were screwing over each other left and right.
It
Yeah. No, you don't have to name names. I'm just asking, how has it changed now when it seems like everybody's, I call it toxic positivity because that's the way it is now. It's just a matter of time before somebody that these people love is going to screw them over. And it's not going to be you. It's going to be one of their other people that, So how has it changed over 10 or 12 years?
I don't know. Maybe just it's my where we started in the industry, because we kind of started at the bottom, is that there just seems to be a lot more variety of people now that I meet. We're talking about the people, from Europe who came over.
Right.
I mean, we have several close friends in the industry. So it's just, I think it's just in any industry, there's just this huge span of people, and some you don't like that much.
Yeah, there's even some blacks and Asians in the industry now, which when we started, there was none. It was 5 white guys that were doing basically everything.
That way, you're right.
And you keep the kids alive, right? So that this was the first time that I've known Justin for about 7 years now, probably, right? This is the first time that I ever saw you as Daddy Justin. Like with having the kids with us. So
we used to see each other at shows. And stuff, right?
So
Daddy Justin's pretty impressive.
I do that a lot.
Yeah, no,
It's
it
pretty
seemed
impressive. Yeah.
Daddy Justin was pretty patient.
Yes.
And it looked like I'm going to be honest. Brittany told me how much you love kids. And I absolutely can't stand kids, right? And there's
You shouldn't have any. I'm just saying.
I do not.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I have a threshold of 12 kids that I could like at any given time. Okay. And if I add new ones, I have to replace somebody on the 12.
Okay. 12 is actually a lot. I'm not sure I like
I'm doing good. That's what I'm saying, right? It's very difficult. Like, these kids are just me all day. You know? Like, I'll be happy when a kid asks me, how's my day going? Right?
Well, I do have one child who congratulates my parenting from time to time. I feel like I see what you did there.
Yeah.
So they grow up and they get pretty fun.
Okay. Well, I would imagine, because everybody always says to you, when's the best time of your life? And the answer is always the same. It's like either before I had kids or after my kids left home.
Oh, I
right?
love it in my life.
So but will you love the kid? Will love your life more with empty nest and seeing the kids go out, or do you think this is the best that it gets?
So this is pretty much all immersive right now, and I love my life. But I also, I think we'll have a great life once they leave, and we get to spoil our grandkids and send them back.
Do you plan on having any more? Or no?
We'll see.
We'll see.
Well, really, it's just one of those things, huh? We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We already have 5.
You have 5 now, right? And 2 were adopted, right? And as an adopted guy myself, I could ask, why China? I think me and Justin spoke about this once before, but
so when we started, the adoption process, I had been working for mental health, and I had been working with the foster care system some, and that system's just so messed up that I just couldn't think of trying to do that.
Well, you're like, screw these American kids. They have mental issues.
No, not mental issues, but like the system itself is just a mess. And at the time, I think I was just tired of that. But we started out in Ethiopia. That's where we started.
Right.
Our paperwork. And then the Ethiopia program, for good reasons, fell apart. And that's when
They stopped adopting kids out of Ethiopia because of ethical issues.
I was going to say, probably, there would probably be a lot of
ethical issues. And so China was after that.
Yeah, we lost about 2.5 years of waiting.
Yeah.
With Ethiopia, and then we tried to switch to China. One of the reasons we chose China is because it's the fastest program too.
It's the most established program, so it has a lot of like safeguards in place, and it's I think as ethical as adoption can be.
And it's not cheap, right? It's like, don't you have to live there for a little while first,
China.
or
no, not China. I think the trip to China is about 14 days approximately, but you don't have to live there.
So, is the first time that you met your kid was it that 14-day period?
Yeah,
and it was just in and out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's easier than it is in America.
So
in a way,
you have a week in their province, and then a week down by the embassy, the American embassy, getting all your American paperwork.
Do you have to do anything to prove you're legit good parents?
Yes.
So that's the thing. People are always like, it's so expensive, and the reason it's so expensive is because you're proving yourself. So you have to go, you have to have someone come in and inspect your home 3 or 4 times. You have to do all the background checks, all the things, and then so all those costs start to add up.
So I think it's approximately 40,000, but of that,
but a lot of that was travel.
7,000. Well, right. Yeah. 7 to 10,000 of it is just travel there and staying for 14 days.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you also give basically a gift to China, right?
To the orphanage, and take care of your child,
which is around $8,000.
Okay.
And so right there, you're into almost half the amount, just in that 14 days.
Right.
The rest of it is spent, with different agencies, and we Joy and I are certifiably sane. We went to a psychologist.
We had to pay for a psychologist.
Really?
So
we have paperwork.
Paperwork.
We like to say that.
Yeah.
So, all right. So when I look at something Justin's doing, I'm like, are you nuts? He can certifiably say, no, I'm not.
We took exams. We sat with a psychiatrist. We did all that.
And did you have to do that the second time as well? Or was it like easier?
The first time, different agencies have different levels of hardness. In our first agency, they required a psych. Our second agency didn't.
Yeah. We have to go through most of it again.
Yeah.
Right.
Unless you adopt more than one child at a time, you usually have to go through it again.
Yeah.
Do you get to choose, or is it
We did.
whatever they give you? Oh, okay.
We did.
Within options.
Yeah.
Right. They say these are options, and one might speak to you more than another. You could ask for more information.
Right.
So China's a special needs adoption country.
Okay.
And so you can go, these are the needs that I feel like as a parent I can afford and I can care for.
Okay.
And then they make recommendations based on what they feel fits your family best. And they try to keep you in age order. We didn't with our second adoption, but they try to keep you in age order.
They want you to adopt into the youngest of your family. That's what they try to
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And do you think the Chinese system could teach the American system a way to do it?
Oh, no.
No?
China has their kids in basically a hospital situation.
Okay.
So they're in a big facility and they're cared for like an institution.
Okay, so there's basically like 30 or 40 kids.
And a couple nannies.
I got
No,
you.
but not really in love or care. It's just maintenance of health.
like a kennel, almost like a
Right.
Okay.
and some of them are better than others.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Where in China did you have to go?
Both of our children, which both came from Fuzhou province, which is on the coast.
Okay.
It's like right across from Taiwan.
Right.
Literally right across Taiwan.
Okay.
Fujian, the capital city is Fuzhou. The province is Fujian, I think. Or is it the other way? I don't know.
Okay. And would you go for a third? You know.
No, I don't think we're going to adopt again. Not that it was. Not
We
that it was some
talked about
negative
it, but China
experience.
shut down.
Oh,
Yeah.
China shut
we
down.
had talked about it
Through
a few years
COVID,
ago.
and through all that just unrest in general politically with them.
Right.
That's one bit of power they have over the U.S. is to say
We're
not
cut off. We're
right.
done. Yeah. Okay.
And we
No, I
have a
get
lot
that.
of friends who were about to travel, and they, at that point, shut the country down, and their kids are still there.
Still
They've done
waiting.
all the
Oh, no
paperwork.
kidding. Really?
Still
Yeah.
waiting for the kids years later. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Please excuse this brief interruption for a word from one of our sponsors. How fucking thrilled am I to have Focus Cubed Habitats joining the Snakes in the Fatman family. They are literally the best display cages that I've ever owned. I was a fan of this husband and wife team of builders from when they were putting out these amazing pieces of fucking art from their garage. Stephen and Ashley have been keeping reptiles for years, and as experienced keepers, they understand how important your animals are in your life. Focus Cubed Habitats provide security and comfort for your animals while maintaining these insane, badass designs that everyone can appreciate. They give you the opportunity to make their home part of your home. You want options? They've got options. Every Focus Cubed Habitat is custom made to your specs, and you could choose from hundreds of options on their website. Too many options? Ashley and Steven have a huge selection of blog-style articles and complete accessory fact pages on their website to help educate consumers about add-ons that will best fit their individual needs. Listen, at the end of the day, these fucking cages are showpieces. Every cage that Focus builds will be the centerpiece of your reptile room. Hell, they could be the centerpiece of your fucking living room. If you have reptiles that you want to display, look no further than Focus Cubed Habitats. You can follow them on Instagram, Facebook, and even fucking TikTok. Or just go old school and go right to FocusCubedHabitats.com and tell them that the Fat Man told you to drop them a line.
Hey there, this is Robin at Redline Shipping with some Redline shipping tips and insight. I want to take a quick moment to talk about shipping boxes. We use insulated shipping boxes for live reptile, live aquatic, and live invert shipping. However, you can't just use any kind of box. You have to use a box that has been certified by the FedEx Packaging Lab. We sell these boxes at our site as kits and in case quantities. It is a white box with this green marking. It also includes the lacy labeling on the side. It includes 3/4 inch insulation foam panels. Some folks do sell at 1/2 inch insulation. That is actually not allowed and not permitted by the FedEx certification packaging lab. But let's take a look at some boxes that aren't allowed. U.S. postal boxes, absolutely, positively not allowed for live animal shipping in the FedEx system. These boxes are thinner than the certified boxes, and they say U.S. Postal all over them. Not allowed. Other boxes that are going to cause you problems. Liquor boxes. You cannot reuse just any old random ass box you have sitting around. This tequila box, whiskey box, box of dynamite, it should not be included for live animal shipping. This is only going to cause you problems, get the package rejected or delayed. Last thing, I've got 1 million of these sitting around, Amazon boxes. These are very, very thin boxes. Amazon loves them because they get the job done for merchandise. But again, this box is not allowed for live animal shipping, whether it's reptiles, aquatics, or inverts. You cannot just simply line it with insulation foam and send it out. It would not be qualified. The other thing you want to watch for, wacky ass labeling on the side of your box. This type of labeling from a reused box for hazardous materials, this is going to cause you problems. So the requirement by FedEx is specifically a brand new box. We can get away with a like new box. So it is possible to reuse a box, but it needs to be in new condition. It needs to be in nice condition. It shouldn't be tore up. It should not have labels for dynamite, for liquor, for explosives, for hazardous materials, and it should be labeled properly for live animal shipping. So that's just a quick tip on selecting the right box, one that's been certified by the FedEx Packaging Lab. Here at Redline Shipping, we support great folks doing great work, and we appreciate your support in return. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook. We have a whole family of companies: Redline Shipping, Redline Science for Products, and the Reptile Report. Reptile Report's been around for 10 years, and we support great breeders, keepers, and hobbyists. We support great folks doing great work. Thanks.
So for now, we're happy with 5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any of the kids taking any interest in all this?
3 of them work down here.
Yeah.
3 of them.
Trying to clean a little bit.
Greer's probably the most.
Our oldest 14. He's probably the one who takes to it the most. He's the oldest child.
Right.
The oldest child.
So he wants more money too.
Right, the most responsible and everything. But I don't know that he would want to do it for a career.
Yeah.
And I don't feel at this point at least, I don't feel any need to push him into like a legacy thing.
Right.
I think you have to love ball pythons.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
You have to love it. That's the thing.
It's hard to do.
It's very unique.
It definitely is. We haven't opened one drawer, right, since I've been here today. Yeah. No.
But you can see the drawers.
I could see the drawers. Yeah, but I could go to Shamir's house and see drawers. But you basically you don't have involvement in day to day. What was your initial feeling when he decided on the name change?
I think it was negative, wasn't it?
I still don't like it.
Oh, you still don't like it?
Really? What's coming out now?
All right, you've heard it here first.
I thought you'd warm to it more than by now.
I mean, it is what it is. I understand his reasons, but I liked. Am I going to be in trouble? I like the old logo better.
Mm-hmm. But a lot of people had that reaction. A lot of people liked the older logo and all that.
Well, he was really, and I think he did it well, trying to show respect for the team, and it's not just his name that's doing it anymore. He has a whole team that works really hard.
Well, I think part of your reticence, though, is just because it is a family name.
Yes.
Which I think most people don't have that particular part.
Right.
But for most people,
and I liked the snake logo.
Right.
Most people have said that. If the name had been Kinova from the beginning, nobody would have been like, "You really should change this to Jacob Love Reptiles."
Right.
Nobody would have said that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But I understand from a family perspective.
Well, I understand also it was rough for. I mean, I thought your last name was Kobylka for the first 3 years that I've known you. So.
That's not the worst it's been. So.
Oh, really? It's worse than that?
We get fun ones.
You surprised at the reaction it got?
No. I mean, I think people just resist change, just across the board.
I think it was actually, I was surprised that we didn't get more resistance. I thought it was...
Yeah, you and I actually talked about that. You were like, I think I'm doing remarkably well.
I didn't know, but it certainly wasn't as bad as I thought it could be.
Right. Well, at the end of the day, really, everybody wants to own a Kinova snake now, right? So it's just the wording difference between I want to own a Jacob Kobylka reptile.
Right, in the end, as long as the product's good. That's what matters. And people aren't buying the name.
And Joy, do you have any of these other hobbies that your husband has? Do you race Porsches? Do you do any,
No, he's been trying to get me to go, and I don't like to be sick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're sick.
All right. And do you have any other hobbies besides taking care of the kids, really?
Yeah, I love to read. My house looks like a library. So in here it looks like all the snake bins. Our house is bookshelves.
Okay. All right.
So we read a lot. I do. I really like classical education,
so that's the part. She can just raise the kids. She schools them too, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to talk about that. You do all the homeschooling too now too.
That's.
I would imagine it's a little bit difficult for 5 different kids at 5 different ages.
I mean, that used to be what school was. You went into school, you had all the grades, and the teacher was 16
in a little
years
house
old.
on the prairie times, but in the modern world, you have to split up lessons, and I understand you're part of a group of teachers that.
Yeah.
Are you sending a teacher to a house for a particular subject, or?
No.
How does that work?
So we meet once a week, and
what, you with the other teachers, or you with extra kids?
So it's all together. So we meet at a church, so each room has a different age level or grade level. And so from 7th grade up, they go into their classroom with their tutor, and they get basically they go over all their work from last week, conversation style. And then they get their work for the next week.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay.
So from like 7th grade up.
All right. So the younger kids are almost easier to homeschool than the older kids, right?
So my older kids, so our goal as educators is our kids to be able to educate themselves. And so to teach them all the tools they need to learn anything.
Okay.
And so my oldest looks at his syllabus and is like, well, this is what I need to do this week, and he does it. And it's very low maintenance for me. I check his work, make sure he's doing it correctly. We have conversations we need to have if he's not understanding something. But that's the goal.
Because that's how their life is going to be from college graduation on.
Right, of course.
Some education.
Yeah, it's prepping them for the real world. Do you teach new math?
No.
You're a fan of new math?
No.
Yeah.
They do their math online. So they use a program where it checks it and makes sure they're doing it right.
But do they have to do the whole 1 page per example?
No.
You see that Nate Bargatze thing where he's like, I describe new math as I could go into my house and ring the front doorbell. He goes, but I could also go around the block, climb the neighbor's yard, go into my backyard, climb my bushes, come into the front door, and get there anyway. And that's what new math is.
Well, some of the purposes of that math is they're trying to, so each kid thinks differently, and so they would learn math differently. So they're trying to teach all the different ways you could learn this one problem. Instead of being like, this one child is struggling learning this way, let's try a different way with that child. They're trying to get the children to be able to do all the ways. So that one will stick, and that's just too much.
That makes it a little bit,
it's too much.
Needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few kind of thing. That's, I don't know. We don't have to get into that. Now, where do you see this going in the next 10 years? What's Joy Kobylka's life like in the next 10 years?
Well, I have a 4-year-old. So I see myself doing this in 10 years with less children because some will be in college.
That is like a prison sentence, for every kid,
fun.
Right? It's 18 years.
You don't understand how much fun it is. It is so much, like they're learning, it's fun.
Have they ever pushed you to the limit? Like, what are some of the things that they do that really just aggravates you? Because I heard a story.
If they tell me their work's done and it's not,
okay.
That really. What did Brittany tell you? What did Brittany tell you? Tell me what I'm talking about here.
Brittany said that you guys were at a cafe and some woman came down and Brittany said, we're just enjoying some time away from the kids. And the woman said, yeah, my kids are little shits too. And and Brittany was like, I'm not going to say anything back to her. She's like, oh, well, all right, have a nice day or whatever. But Joy was definitely like,
I don't remember this.
Yeah, do you remember it?
I don't remember.
Oh, you don't remember it?
No.
Oh, okay, all right.
What did I do?
Well, she said that Joy was like, can you believe this woman's talking about her kids like that?
I don't get it.
It's
you raise the children you have.
Right.
If your child acts like that, it's your problem.
That's what I'm saying, right?
It's your problem.
Most of the problem is the parents, right? Would you agree with that? Is that, a bad kid it's probably not just bad when the kid is in school. It's probably bad at home too, and there's a reason for that kid.
So usually kids are much better in school, and then they go bad when they're home because they can just all the self-control that they've had in school, they can release at home because it's supposed to be a safe place.
Oh.
So
My mother's a teacher. She told me exactly the opposite.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, I got 7-year-olds that they're actually calling me to come down, and I come down like an idiot, and they smack me in the face. And I'm like, that's New York City public schools for you, man. That's, it's the way it goes.
I wouldn't be teaching there, but good for her.
Yeah, they're good for her, please.
No. Okay.
Yeah. They always bring some kind of third world disease. Because these kids all they're coming back with monkeypox and, malaria, and you're like, I thought we fixed that, And every parent I know has spent the last 3 or 4 years sicker than they've ever been in their whole life. And they all blame their kids for it.
Well, the thing is, our life never changed during COVID.
Because you homeschool and you're here,
I mean,
right?
yeah, and our groups still met. I mean, our lives just didn't change.
Right.
Yeah.
Were you one of those masked people every time you go out?
No.
No, yeah, neither was I. No.
I didn't wear them unless I was on an airplane.
Right.
I embarrassed him, really.
Oh, did you really? Yeah.
She's I would say I'm anti-mask, but she's a rabid anti-mask.
Is she vocal when she doesn't agree about something?
I'm the kind of person who just will just...
Well, to be fair,
let it go, right?
I get along.
When we started, I did put the mask on, but I have really bad asthma, so I couldn't breathe.
Right.
So I would get lightheaded.
After a while,
and,
you realize it was...
Well, you realize it needs to be... Right, exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Some of the people ain't talking about is the unvaccinated are still not dying.
You're right.
Which everybody was, and I took the shot because I'm a sheep, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then he told me to take a second shot, and I was like, maybe. And then he told me to take a third shot, and I'm like, no,
it's the limits.
But Bill Burr said something about that where he was like, if they're going to kill people, they're not going to kill the people that are doing everything they tell them to. They're going to kill the people who are not taking a shot.
How?
How are they going to get us? No,
I just think that it's a smart way to think about it, So
it is funny.
You don't want to get killed by the government, you just take that shot, I'll do whatever. But I'm not taking a fourth one. I'm like, this is a little bit ridiculous now that I got to go to CVS every 3 months and take a quarterly COVID shot,
Yeah.
Okay, so Joy, is there anything that you want to say to Justin on camera and to all your fans? Because after this, you're going to have at least a dozen fans. So,
yay!
No, nothing to say. None to say to all these ball python breeders.
About Justin?
About anything in general.
I don't know, I'm caught off guard. Don't know what to say. He's pretty awesome. Yeah, he's awesome.
Free endorsement.
Has there ever been I'm sick of Justin going away so many times a year. I'm sick of Justin, having to cater to these ball python morons that are just, I
never used that expression.
Is there an amount of money that people should spend where you're like, oh, I love Bill or whoever, and the amount of money that people could spend where you're like, yeah, you don't deserve our time?
No. I've never.
I don't.
Yeah. The travel, the fall is hard because he's gone. Maybe it was just this fall because you added Europe to this fall.
Yeah.
He's gone a lot, and the kids don't like that.
Right. Well, and is it ever?
I don't like it either, but the kids don't.
With any of your vacations, is it ever a non-working vacation?
Oh no.
It's always something, right?
But it's different than it used to be. So it used to be that he was on the phone constantly, and he had to be because he was trying to make sales, and now he has assistance with that. And it used to be a constant thing, where now it's like an hour in the morning where he's checking his emails. For some reason, he does a podcast every time we go away. And
it's the one time we can schedule it. Yeah.
And then I think the last 3 times we went away, just us, he had a podcast. And it's like an hour in the evening. Like, he just makes sure his inbox is empty.
I'm guilty of that too. I'm sorry.
It doesn't bother me.
Jackson Hole, I think.
Yeah.
And she's like, yes, we were. So I'm sorry for that.
The thing is, I love my
just
work.
Is.
And so, I don't want to have to work 16-hour days, But even on vacation, like if I can be plugged into the things I care about, which includes the business, then that to me is the best vacation, right?
Right.
But as long as, but what I don't want is I don't want massive obligations where I can't, enjoy.
It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he feels more calm if he can make sure everything's tidy where we are.
Right.
And I don't need to talk all the time, so I can read a book or something. It's all good.
I got you. Yeah, that's what you were doing during ours. I was like, is Joy mad? He's like, no, she's reading.
Had a drink. I was good.
And all right. Well, I'm not going to waste any more of your time. I'm going to have you go back to your family and just chill out. Thank you guys both for doing this.
Chill out. That's what I really like.
Yeah, you're not going to chill out at all. Yeah.
No
This was the chill.
Go out and teach those kids.
This was the
chill. Yeah.
No, I just want to. I think in closing, I'd like to say that Joy's been an amazing spouse, right? And for all the people like who dozen people who watch this, I hope they can be supportive of their spouse's dreams, whether it be your wife or your husband. That wants to do something weird like this,
right? It's mutual support.
It's mutual support. I can support her obviously by being successful, but she supported me when it was never clear that this ever could be successful. Not only that it would be, but who would have thought that reptile industry and ball python specifically, or this business specifically, would grow to what it is. And she supported me before that was clear, and that's what good unconditional.
Well, I understand that you're going to set up a fan mail account for Joy.
Yeah, sure.
So, okay. Yeah, so Joy can answer all of those emails.
I know after we were out with Trap Talk, MJ? MJ, I got a bunch of Instagram requests, and I don't answer those.
Right. You don't, right? Because who needs these people, right?
I mean, it's my Instagram's my children, and I keep them safe. It's personal.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Note to self, do not friend request Joy.
Well, I've actually met you. That makes a difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you haven't met Joy, just leave her alone.
Yeah, like random people with like snake or ball python in their handle. I'm just like, oh, that's nice.
They're the worst, aren't they? They're horrible.
Nothing wrong with them. We just don't know them.
I don't know them.
Yeah.
My kids are, none of my kids are on social media. The older kids don't have social media, so I protect access.
Do you give them a cell phone yet?
They have watches that we can call them if they're on events, but I'm not giving my kids the internet in their pocket.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the worst thing. Kids don't go out and play anymore. No,
that's right. Our kids like to play outside.
No,
they'll get to the age where they'll obviously have their own access or whatever, but hopefully they'll have had a great childhood before then.
First, childhood first.
All right, well, cool. Well, Daddy Justin, thank you guys. I appreciate all your time, and Joy especially. Thanks for taking an hour out to.
This was like grown-up conversation.
Yeah, it might not play well on the channel. But we'll try and. Next summer, I immediately came in here and I was like, "Is Joy here?" And she was like, "No," and I just let out a bunch of curses
just to get them out of your system.
To get them out that I didn't say.
That was very thoughtful of you. So you're holding them in.
I'm a giver. Okay, I look out for people, right?
Did you ask if she was okay with that?
Summer, I kind of know to that point. Like I've heard stories about Summer. I haven't verified them with Summer yet, but I've heard a few. So I felt safe cursing around her. So
I'm glad you got that out.
All right.
I'll leave and then you can do it again.
All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. All right.
All right.
Awesome.
Geeky Geckos is Arizona's largest gecko breeder, and they're helping usher the Fatman into the leopard gecko space. They have a really popular YouTube channel for education, care, and breeding, and all that other fun shit. And they have an active community on Instagram, Facebook, and Discord over at Geeky Gecko Creations. Oh, since they're in Arizona and it's fucking 98 degrees there in the winter, they could ship year-round. Plus, if you buy from them, they basically have free consultations about your collection for life. That's forever. Forever and ever. Call or text Frank today at 480-299-7657 with any questions or inquiries that you have. That's a fucking man that stands by his shit, that he's willing to give out his fucking cell number to all of you degenerates. There's another Snakes and the Fat Man special with Geeky Gecko Creations. It's hard to fucking say. There's a special 10% discount on all applicable animals using code SATFM10 at checkout. Go check out Frank and his awesome fucking animals at geekygeckocreations.com. Again, thanks to Justin and Joy for their time and hospitality, and thanks to Justin and Shamir for our fucking badass discussion about stand-up comedy history in the last fucking 20 years over lunch. So that was probably one of my favorite parts of the whole trip. Guys, you like what you see here? Help us out and join the Patreon family at patreon.com/snakesandthefatman and help us bring you more incredible shit like we brought you today. Become a member of the only reptile cool guy club on the planet. And look, after the last 3 weeks, I know there's a few of you who have some extra Patreon money in the budget just laying around. Aw, too soon? Check us out again at patreon.com/snakesandthefatman. Another thing, if you can, watch the old Snakes and the Fat Man live every other Sunday. With all the cancel culture mentality going around these days, I've decided to play it safe. I will only have drop-dead gorgeous women as guests or co-hosts with me on that show. No fatties or uggos. I'm on a mission to prove that you don't have to be hideous to be a part of this hobby. Not to pat myself on the back here, but I feel like I'm doing the Lord's work here, people. The open Zoom calls are only going to be done once a month now instead of twice a month. So check Facebook, IG, all of that shit to see when the next one is. Guys, thanks again for taking the time to watch or listen. As my favorite podcast host says, the gift of time is the coolest thing that you could give somebody, and your time given to me does not affect me lightly. I totally appreciate all the time and the support that you guys have given me. And listen, have a great rest of the week, and I will see you in 2. Take it easy, guys. Everyone talks their own shit about what kind of racks you should buy. Metal racks are great, but everyone doesn't want a goddamn 7-foot high, 6-foot wide, 2,000-pound metal rack in their fucking house. That's a 2-refrigerator footprint, man. 2 fucking refrigerators. Sea Serpents makes insane quality racks that could fit anywhere. They're stackable PVC racks that are living room friendly, and they're shipped fully assembled with heat tape already installed. Just plug it into a thermostat and you're ready to go. When we had the shop, we had over 20 Sea Serpent racks there before they ever became a sponsor of Snakes and the Fat Man. I don't breed much anymore these days, but I still have a few racks here in my house, and you could be goddamn sure that they're Sea Serpents. Oh, and they also make hotbox incubators, probably the best reptile incubators made in America. At the height of our breeding business, we had 4 4-foot hotbox incubators, and again, I still have a small hotbox incubator here in case anything I keep actually does breed. Go to SeaSerpents.com and check out their incredible selection of PVC racks, and tell Chris Nettles that the Fat Man sent you.